Alright, welcome in. Today, I'm jumping straight into Slappie Adventures, a retro-style action mini-game that takes me back to the feeling of the old classics. I start the level with Slappie, this little frog hero, standing at the beginning of a stage that is filled with enemies, platforms, and traps. My mission here is simple. I need to reach the end of the level alive, but trust me, it is easier said than done. As I step forward, the first thing I notice is how every button press matters. This is one of those games where reflexes, timing, and strategy are everything. Every jump, every attack, every decision carries weight. I can move left or right, I can hop over danger, or I can decide to fight through it. There is something really satisfying about how compact this game is. It is small, but it has that depth. I feel like every time I step into a level, it wants me to learn, adapt, and somehow get smarter. When I finally survive a stage that rush of victory hits because nothing is handed to me, I earn it. But Slappie Adventures is just one piece of a much bigger world. It sits inside the Slap Ventures universe, which is focused on delivering joyful gaming experiences, building a community, and creating a space where anyone, no matter the age, can find something fun. I love that feeling, because when I play, I am not just button mashing, I am stepping into a whole ecosystem built around entertainment, participation, and rewards. As I walk through these first early seconds of gameplay, I can already see how this small game serves as a doorway. It is like the first chapter in a longer adventure, but the only thing I need to focus on right now is getting past these platforms, dodging danger, and keeping Slappy alive. This world, this challenge, and this little green frog, they all come together to give me an experience that feels personal. It is just me, my timing, my decisions, and the level in front of me. When I finally reach the end, it is victory earned, not given. Alright, let us jump into it. If you are watching, buckle in, because I am about to guide you step by step through everything that makes this journey intense, rewarding, and worth playing. Here we go. Before I take another step in the level, I want to share the bigger picture behind where this game lives. Because Slappy Adventures is not just a standalone minigame, it is part of something larger, a world called Slap Ventures, and everything here is designed with a clear purpose. Slap Ventures is all about creating joyful gaming experiences, moments that make people smile and memories that can be shared. It is built on the belief that entertainment can bring us together and that gaming can actually help form stronger, healthier family units. That is something I really appreciate because sometimes we forget how powerful it can be to sit, play, laugh, and enjoy a moment together. When I look at Slappy Adventures, I see a doorway. It is simple, fast, and easy to pick up, which means kids, adults, beginners, or experienced gamers can all find fun here. That is part of the vision to make this universe a welcoming place where age does not define whether you belong. There's also a broader mission. Slap Ventures combines gaming with collectibles, utility, and a range of products that connect to different interests. It is not only for people who want to play, but also for those who enjoy collecting, earning, or being part of a community with shared enthusiasm. Something I personally notice as I move through this ecosystem is that it is forward-thinking. It is not just about releasing games, it is about preparing a long-term environment, a space where new titles, new rewards, and new experiences continue to grow. So playing Slappy Adventures now feels like joining a story, not just jumping into a single moment. The ultimate goal here is to create a world where entertainment supports connection, where fun feels meaningful, and where gaming becomes a bridge between people rather than something you do alone. So when I press these buttons, when I jump through this level, when I feel that rush of beating a stage, I'm not only enjoying a quick moment, I am stepping into a vision where community matters, where joy is designed, and where the future of play feels intentional. That is what Slap Ventures is aiming at, and this is only the beginning. Alright, let me slow down the action for a moment and walk you through what really defines this game. Because once I pick up the controller, these mechanics are what shape the entire experience. I begin at the start of each stage, looking at a layout filled with platforms, enemies, and traps. My job is to get Slappy to the end alive, and that means every move I make matters. I tap left or right, and that simple movement decides how I position myself, where I stand, and what danger I'm about to face. Then I have my jump one button, but it changes everything. I leap over pits, hop across spikes, or skip right over an enemy that I do not want to fight. Sometimes the smartest move is to avoid a problem altogether, and that jump is what lets me choose that path. Combat is where things get interesting. I have close range attacks done with a quick strike. These melee hits feel powerful, but they come with risk. I have to time them perfectly because getting too close means I could take damage, and one mistake can end a run. On the other side, I have ranged attacks, a long-distance arrow that lets me clear enemies before they ever get near me. When something dangerous waits at the edge of the screen, this is my safe way to deal with it. I step back, I press the button, and that arrow gives me breathing room. It becomes a small window of safety that I have to earn again and again. The deeper I go into the levels, the more the game starts to fight back. Enemies move faster, platforms are trickier, and the spaces to jump or strike become tighter. Suddenly, what felt easy is gone, and I am forced to adapt. My reflexes must sharpen my thinking, must speed up, and every mistake becomes a lesson. What I love is how compact this design is. There is no wasted space, no unnecessary features. Every mechanic serves a purpose. It is pure action, pure timing, pure test. When I finally make it through a difficult stretch, I feel that rush that only old school games ever gave me. That feeling of victory earned, not handed. And that is what stands out the most. Slappie Adventures does not overwhelm me with a menu or a tutorial. It throws me into action and says, learn, survive, overcome. That alone is what makes this minigame unforgettable. Before I continue moving through the level, I want to pause and speak honestly about how the technology behind this ecosystem connects to what I am playing. Because whenever I look at a gaming platform that uses digital assets, tokens, or any kind of rewards infrastructure, I am always asking the same question. Where does it live? What chain powers it? How does it actually work behind the scenes? Right now, what I know is this Slap Ventures has a utility token named Slap. It is described as the native currency for rewards in game transactions and governance inside the platform. It is positioned as the digital asset that unlocks benefits, perks, and additional features. The token is the passport that gives full access to the wider experience, and it is central to how the entire world of Slap Ventures operates. But I need to be transparent. The specific blockchain powering that token is not stated in the material I have. I do not have confirmation that it is a Cardano native asset. I do not have confirmation about NFTs being minted on Cardano standards, and I do not have information on smart contracts, metadata staking, or governance tools tied to Cardano. So as I speak, I want you to notice something. I am intentionally only expressing what is real, what is confirmed, and what is actually known. I will not tell you a story that is not grounded because it matters, especially when blockchain and digital ownership are involved. Here is what I can say. Playing Slappie Adventures feels like stepping into a gateway, and the existence of the Slap utility token suggests that this universe is built to reward, to unlock, and to give added reasons to return. But until I see explicit confirmation, I cannot attach that to Cardano, I cannot claim smart contract support, and I cannot say this platform integrates staking governance or NFTs using Cardano standards. If Slap Ventures were to operate on Cardano, it would open the door to low-cost token minting, reliable settlement, decentralized distribution, and community-controlled governance. But again, that is a scenario, not a statement, because the source material does not specify any of this. So I play and I move, and while I do, I hold one open question in the back of my mind. What role will blockchain and potentially Cardano play in the future of this world? Because if I ever see that connection made clear, that is when things begin to expand. That is when this small mini game becomes an entry point into something truly on-chain. For now, I stay focused, grounded, and I speak only from what I know, and what I know is that the technology side still needs clarity before I attach Cardano to this universe. Let me pause again and shift my perspective from the moment on the screen to where this project stands overall, because knowing what exists today and what might come next helps me understand the role this game actually plays. Right now, Slappie Adventures is presented as an existing minigame. It is something I can step into play and fully experience. The mechanics, the controls, the challenge, all of that is already here. I can jump, attack, dodge, and try to reach the end of each level. So from a gameplay standpoint, this part of the world is real, tangible, and active. But when I look beyond the screen, there is a layer of information that I do not have. I do not see explicit milestones. I do not see a documented list of features that are coming next. And I do not see a clear development timeline that tells me where this will evolve. There is no stated future release plan, no confirmed expansion, and no public roadmap that marks what new gameplay modes, systems, or integrations will arrive. So as I speak, I remain grounded. I acknowledge that my understanding is limited to what is confirmed, which is the existence of the current experience. Slappie Adventures is here, part of the Slap Ventures ecosystem, and it serves its function as a gateway introducing players to that world. There is something interesting in that because sometimes projects reveal themselves slowly, one step at a time. Instead of launching with every feature fully formed, this universe feels like it is opening gradually, inviting me in, letting me settle before revealing more. But I also want to be clear. There is no stated information about upcoming releases, multiplayer features, NFT integrations, token utility expansions, or platform-wide updates. Nothing in the material tells me what changes are expected, so I cannot predict, assume, or speculate. That means all I can do is observe what is right now, and what is right now is a functioning minigame part of a community-focused platform designed to give people a joyful place to play. Sometimes the unknown is exciting. It leaves space, it leaves curiosity, and as I walk through another set of enemies, I find myself wondering, will this world expand? Will this frog become the face of a larger adventure? Will this game eventually connect deeper into the digital asset layer? Only time and future information will answer that. So I play and I move, and while I do, I hold one open question in the back of my mind. What role will blockchain and potentially Cardano play in the future of this world? Because if I ever see that connection made clear, that is when things begin to expand. That is when this small mini game becomes an entry point into something truly on-chain. For now, I stay focused, grounded, and I speak only from what I know. And what I know is that the technology side still needs clarity before I attach Cardano to this universe. Alright, before I get back to fighting enemies and jumping across platforms, I want to take a moment and share why I believe this minigame matters inside its larger universe, because even a compact title like this has a role, and its impact goes beyond just clearing a stage. When I enter Slappie Adventures, what I am really stepping into is a doorway. This game acts as the first touch point, the on-ramp, the way someone with zero prior experience can feel confident joining the Slapventures world. It does not overwhelm it, welcomes, and that is powerful. There is value in how simple it is. When anyone, a kid, a parent, or someone who has barely ever touched a game, can sit down, tap a couple of buttons, and instantly be part of the moment that creates space for connection. It makes gaming feel like a shared activity, not a separated one. That is something I think a lot of modern platforms overlook. Then there is the broader environment. Slapventures is built around entertainment that brings joy, and I see that clearly in how this title is shaped. Nothing feels intimidating, nothing feels exclusive. Instead, it wants everybody to have fun, and when a platform has that intention, it naturally becomes a place where communities can grow. There is also the utility token Slap, which adds a layer of reward motivation and participation to the experience. Even though I do not have chain level details, what I do know is that a token can transform a player from a visitor into a participant, someone who is not just playing but actually belongs. So what is the impact here? It is emotional, social, and experiential. It makes gaming feel like an act of joy. It creates a bridge where families, friends, and strangers can meet inside a fun environment. And it gives the entire ecosystem a clear entry point. Instead of asking someone to join a complex platform, this game says, come as you are, start with a jump, and let fun be the first step. And when I survive a level, when I feel that thrill of getting through something challenging, that is where the value becomes personal. Because accomplishment is one of the strongest emotional rewards we can experience, and this game delivers it even in its simplest form. So while I play, I am not just pressing buttons, I am participating in something that is designed to matter, something that invites joy, builds community, and turns a minigame into a meaningful moment.